summer with no sunshine, but I see colors in my head. Ko Irwaka tōku ingoa, ko Te Rārawa Tiwi, no Mitimiti Ahau. I am a singer-songwriter, producer based in Tamaki Makaurau. I grew up in Bayswater, come from a military family, Navy, and I guess my discipline or my chosen art form is music. My dad was in the Navy, was away quite a bit, so I used to always bring home music. He was kind of like my inspiration for like kind of going down the musical path. I guess I was lucky in the sense that he also brought not only the music but lots of technology. He was really into hi-fi, so I always had that memory of listening to records and really good sound systems. And at the same time, he kind of brought back technology in the form of like computers. When I was growing up in Bayswater, I think I was one of the only Māoris with a computer on my street. So I think the model was an Acorn computer, and it was really similar to like your modern Macs, but you used to have these big floppy disk drives and chuck them in and used to like play games and stuff. But that was kind of like what got me into thinking about music and how it would change my life in terms of production. Went to school on North Shore, went to Rangitoto College till about sixth form. Wasn't really feeling it, so I went to music school in Victoria Street, at times called Mains, and that kind of really opened my mind up to different types of music that was out there. I was really interested in how to produce music, not just make it, so in that sense I wasn't really like focused on being an artist or writing my own music. I was more just trying to figure out how that stuff works. It's been a pretty crazy trip for me, and I guess along that whole journey I've kind of gone back to the beginning of like really stripping back my music and kind of focusing on the storytelling aspect of things. A lot of my inspiration comes from like where I'm from, a little place called Mitimiti up in the Hokianga. A lot of my songs I wrote when I was about 14 years old, just on my acoustic guitar on the beach, just hang out with whānau and that kind of stuff, you know, and there's keeping those in the banks, and it's kind of like when I've released songs, I've always just gone back to that bank and pulled out a song that's relevant at that time, and it kind of just, it's unfinished, but then it kind of finishes it when I really focus on it, and that's kind of been my process. I've never really looked at music as a career pathway, as your typical career, like, oh, you just do it and you get paid, because in reality that's not how it works. For me it's just like a way to get thoughts out, tell a story at a time that's like still relevant. Like if I pull out a song and it's still resonating with me, then I know it's like, it's good. Kind of like baking a cake really, and you don't really pull it out till it's ready. I've also been steeped in the digital and technology kind of like sectors as well at the same time as I've been doing music. So when I was doing music, I was also doing audio-visual technology, working for like sound companies, production companies, that kind of stuff, and then I kind of branched out and went into commercial audio, fitting out like massive commercial buildings like the Auckland Art Gallery, which I worked on for like 2 years, and then shifted into the Auckland Museum space, which I'm at now. And it's kind of interesting seeing the crossover points as a creative and how it's important to have one discipline, but in this day and age you kind of got to have multi-disciplines to kind of survive. You've got to really diversify, and I think now with like social media and that kind of stuff, you're not only just the artist, you're also your own advertiser, marketing manager kind of thing. So having that balance of all these different skills and kind of bring them together is like something that really interests me. I love music, but I also love like being getting into like film, into art and dance and that kind of stuff, and seeing how all those things can be used to tell stories. And so yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at the moment as a creative. But yeah, when I say I'm a singer-songwriter, it's hard because it's like so much more than that. it's only like one little part. I think my biggest advice will just be to surround yourself and ground yourself in the things that make you happy first and foremost, and just make sure that you're having fun, basically. If you're not having fun, don't do it. And in terms of like kind of elevating yourself, to surround yourself with people who are like really genuinely want to lift you up and are really genuinely interested in what you have to say. Because music is just a communication tool, really. It's just one of the original forms of it. So, I mean, just grounding yourself and that's like kind of like helps you navigate where you're going next, I guess. And try not to be influenced by anything, really. And that's really hard to do, because by doing that you just become more unique, I guess. You're not jumping on trends and stuff like that. And just get your priorities sorted out about why you're doing it in the first place.